Hello, welcome on my channel. I'm Bula from beautiful Fiji. Today we are going to talk about the importance of gratefulness and its power and how it has been outlined in the scriptures by Jesus Christ and why it's so important. We'll start saying the gratefulness is emotion. It's appreciations of something that we have been given or we have achieved, and understanding its value, which we often omit. We don't think or we lose interest and perception of value of things that are given to us, that are important. A good example is electricity. We don't realize how valuable the electricity is until we lose it. Imagine one day at night in winter, you come back home, it's dark, you're cold, you're hungry, and you're just gonna make a nice dinner, take a bath, make warm dinner. You come home, you flick that switch, and suddenly, boom, the electricity has been cut. You start feeling a bit apprehensive. Only then, when you lose it, you realize how important it is and how valuable it is. We take granted things that are given to us of high value, we just relegate the value, we completely omit it. So gratefulness and appreciations bring it back and generate feeling of happiness and joy and peace. This is why gratefulness is ranked as one of the most important feeling or uplifting feeling in the scale of you could call frequencies or positive frequencies. And so we start by even emphasizing this point or reinforcing this point based on what's written in scriptures. What Jesus Christ said about, indirectly implied about gratefulness. Because it's so important. He himself was grateful for provisions from his Father, from God, when he fed the crowd bread and fish. Before he did so, he raised it to the heaven and he expressed his gratitude. Just like another example is when he healed 10 lepers. Only one good Samaritan came back and expressed his gratefulness for the fact that Jesus healed him. The rest didn't, and that's where Jesus also emphasized the importance of being grateful, how it connects with God and with what he provides for us. Another example I can think of, and this is an important one, where Jesus came to the tomb of Lazarus, and before he brought him back from death, he thanked God, his Father, for bringing Lazarus back from the realm of death, even before it happened. So this is a very important point. When we develop that feeling of gratefulness and we practice it, what God already gave us, sometimes outside of our own contribution, we can then be grateful to God for upcoming blessings that he will give us later on in life, because we have faith and confidence that he will do so, because he has already done so before and previously. And so this is the evidence, strong evidence in scripture related to gratefulness. And when it comes to psychological benefits of gratefulness, that is proven that feeling of gratefulness improves your mood drastically. It improves mild depression, even mild anxiety. It improves feeling of joy. It makes you feel vibrant and joyful for things that you have and you didn't even realize how important they are. It's like that electricity. You only realize how important and valuable it is when you lose it. And so this is why we need to practice that gratefulness also for the psychological benefits, the one that I outlined. It also helps with sleep. There have been studies done. People who practice gratefulness reported increased quality of sleep, because often things that make us or keep us awake at night are things that we keep in our mind and we are worried about, or we are depressed about, or we live too much in the past and or too much in the future rather than in the present moment. With that gratefulness, we can be grateful for what have been given from God, rely on his providence, be confident that he will give us more, and be able to live more in present moment and have that inner peace. The other benefit of gratefulness is it dispels envy. We all have the problem to a certain extent, each of us to a certain degree. We are envious. We envy others, often unnecessary so, because we don't understand their life properly. And so we think it's only the good things that we can see happen in their lives. But we envy. And so if we think for a second, if we pause before we express that negative, corrosive feeling of envy towards someone else, and we just think of what we have been given ourselves, our health, our place to stay, friendships, work, even if it's money, even if it's not too much, but you have enough to get by, and many other things, we realize how lucky we are, and suddenly the feeling of envy, which is very corrosive and poisonous, will dispel through the light and love that comes with gratitude. So gratitude not only gives you positive psychological effects, like dispels depression and gives you joy and improves your sleep, but it also helps you to fight with envy that is very corrosive and has further down the track very negative and destructive effect on your relationships, on your mental state, and on your health. And also lastly, it gets you closer to God because you acknowledge what He has given to you, what He provided for you, and you're grateful for it. You can restore and establish that relationships of confidence and balance that happens when you are grateful for you have been given, and you're confident and you know that you will be given even more. This is when the famous part of the scripture comes in, when the statement goes as, those who have a lot will be given more, those who have little will even lose that. So it means that if you already have perception and honest gratitude for what you have, you already, in your mind, you have abundance, you will get more, you will attract more. God will give you more because you are already happy with what you have. Just like a father who has a child or son or daughter, and the child is not happy with the toy he or she has been given, the father is not going to buy more, because they need to get familiar with the toy and really settle in and just be grateful for it, because they're not ready to receive more. So this is in practice how it works in spiritual world. Remember that the spiritual reflects that which is on earth. As above, so below. And so this is reflected. God will only give you more if you already appreciate that which you have. And if you don't appreciate what you have, if you're really angry about, you want more, and you're restless, and you're just ungrateful, unappreciative, not only that more is not going to come, but you will even lose that which you have, because you're operating from the lack of abundance. You think you have very little, and so that will come to you. The universe, the energy of the universe will come back to you, and God will stay and does nothing, because you'll be your own master of your destiny in that sense. You only get closer to God when you start experiencing love, joy, and gratitude that He gave you, or He's vibrating on these frequencies. And once you start losing things because you're ungrateful and you can say vibrating on the lower frequencies, then through your own thinking and contemplating, hopefully you realize that you can raise up to His level of gratitude and become closer to Him, because He doesn't interfere with free will. He actually let us suffer, so we realize through our own thinking and pondering what's good for us. So this will almost conclude my video, but before I conclude completely, I'll share what I do for gratitude and what really works for me. Is that every morning before I completely wake up, I'm still in that beautiful feeling of rest. I think of 3 things that I'm grateful for, as little as they could be, from previous day, or even anything that is long ongoing. Could be health, could be that I have a roof over my head, I have a good work, I have relationships, I have positive relationships with my friends, with my family, that I can travel, many things. And I just think about that. I don't think about anything else. I don't think about what I need to do for the day. I just take a deep breath, and with the exhale, a long exhale, I'll think of the thing that I'm grateful for. And suddenly I realized that my mood and joy, this is why gratefulness is often compared with the joy on a frequency scale, is increasing and rising. And this is very important to start your day with that mindset. And also extremely crucial point of information is to do this exercise before you reach out for your phone, because everybody has their phone on the bedside table. The first thing people do When they wake up, when they shut the alarm, they scroll down and see what's on social media or news. Vast majority of content on the phones are very negative. They are purposely programmed for that. We'll discuss this topic later in another video. So it's very important not to get your mind, when it's still fresh and when it's still vibrating and overlapping with your unconscious, which happens during the sleep, pollute with content from your mobile phones and social media. On the other hand, it's important to bring that gratitude into your mind while it's still sort of quarter asleep, because that will raise your vibration and will get closer to God. And also it's much easier to pray and express the gratitude in prayer as well to the Lord in the morning, or when you're in a state of right here, right now, and when you already feel happy and appreciative of what you have been given. So this concludes my video. I hope you got some clarity and motivation to practice your own gratitude. And if you did, or if you just like the information you have been presented, please press like and subscribe. Thank you. Bye.